Well, it's good to get out there and play. It's been a while. I know our guys were excited. I think we all were. Been practicing against each other for a while, and it's been good for some improvement defensively. I think some guys are starting to understand our concepts and what we're trying to do better. So I can see some growth in us there. But we're facing a team that is experienced. They've already played a very good schedule. They play with high octane. They average over 85 points a game. And so I was just really proud mostly of our defensive effort because I knew it was going to take a yeoman's effort to try to slow them down, especially the way they've been playing as of late. So just really proud of our effort, and beat a team that I think is as scrappy as any team we've faced so far this year.
Yeah, just talk a little bit more about the defensive effort because, as you noted, Mercer's played a lot of teams tough, and they made some runs and stuff, but UCF was able to keep the pace and kind of keep that margin. What did you like most about the defensive effort tonight?
Well, I like the fact that we didn't let us not making shots, especially early on in the first half, affect how we guarded. And that's a sign of a team that's maturing when they understand that your offense should not affect how you guard. And I thought we did a very good job of that. I think early on in the year that would have affected us, and it didn't affect us today. And so I see growth in that area and want to continue to see that as we move forward.
Coach, how's it going? We know we spoke with the guys. They said although it was a 10-day rest period, you guys had scrimmages. You guys were practicing hard. I mean, what kind of emphasis was it to keep playing hard during that 10-day break to get back on the court tonight?
Well, that was a long stretch of not playing for us, and so I was, my biggest concern was, like you said, keeping them in shape, trying to keep them in rhythm. We're in rhythm because we're playing a certain amount of games every week, and now, we have, one game. And then we have 7 days off, then we have one game, and you have 10 days off. So that became a challenge. But I give our guys credit. I thought the leadership was good from a player perspective, and our staff did a great job of making sure that when we got to practice, we made it very competitive. We actually, like I said, had a scrimmage in there to try to simulate a game by just having a scrimmage game in between. So our guys would actually, have a day where it would simulate exactly how we would be playing on game day.
Coach, you had Riley get back to double-digit scoring this time around. You got up to the free throw line a good bit this time around. Just what you see from him today?
Well, I saw a young man that was aggressive. He was in attack mode, and he has to be that way for who he is as a player, and for what we want from him. He has to stay engaged like that, and I thought he did that tonight. And so we want him to continue to build on what he did today. He's having a really good season for us. And I think his best basketball is still ahead of him. It's a function of him continuing to come in every day, every practice, every game with the same mindset, and keeping that as an aggressive mindset. And I think good things will happen for him and for us.
You've been saying you want to see your team play a 40-minute game, not 20 minutes, not 30 minutes. How many minutes did you see him play tonight?
I thought defensively we were as good as we've been in the first half. I thought in the second half we weren't as good as we need to be. And so, I'm not satisfied with it. It definitely wasn't a 40-minute performance that I would like to see us have. But I am proud of them because it's hard to slow them down. I watched them play a lot on tape. I've watched them. They're very competitive. He has some really good, talented players. And I'm just really happy with our effort. But I thought our first half, defensively, we were a little tighter and more connected than we were in the second half.
Kind of on that same track, your starters finished this game, even though the score was in double digits. Was it about conditioning, given the short turnaround now, and with Gulf Coast on Saturday, plus the layoff of the previous 10 days?
No, absolutely. We wanted to make sure our guys got their legs back under them in games. It was one thing in practice and trying to simulate that. Of course, we try to do the best we can, but it's almost impossible to simulate exactly how the game's going to go. And so I thought this was good for our guys to get their legs back under them, to get their timing and rhythm, especially the starting group that play together to make sure keeping our chemistry right as well. So I thought it was important that we tried to play them some minutes to get them back in game form and in game shape.
Probably still making too much of the newness of this group. 10 games in the season, how have you seen this team kind of come together and embody the identity you want them to have?
We're getting there. Of course, we're still not there yet. I think we have a ways to go with regards to where we want to see them. Like I said, I have a lot of belief in this team and how good they can become. And we have to keep working towards that on a daily basis. And that's, like you said, every practice, every game is one more step forward. These experiences that these guys are getting, like Jeremy today. I thought Jeremy did a lot of really good things. He got hit in the eye, he ended up getting stitches. He came back, he kept competing. He made some tough plays for us, rebounding-wise. And so, but those are all, growth. Those are ways for our guys to grow. I thought he did some growing in this game because of what he went through. I think John Bowl, even though his numbers won't show it, he got in foul trouble. Now he has to learn from that. How do you learn? I mean, you got to get these experiences and be in games like this where you learn, like, oh, I know I can't do this because that may put me in foul trouble. So he's going to learn from that experience today. And so as they continue to grow and mature at those positions, I think we even get better.
You obviously prefer to learn those lessons while winning.
Absolutely.
91, I think, is your best start since you came to UCF. How important is it to have that kind of a record as you're kind of going through this process?
Well, I really don't look at the record. I do agree with you. I'd rather learn from winning than losing. I think, you learn in both situations. I do understand that part of it well. But if your guys can learn while they're winning and take some of these lessons, I think it just helps us, as we go forward throughout the season. But it's a process. It's a long year. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to face adversity. I don't care what team you have. It's going to happen. It's going to hit. And so what we're trying to do is make sure our guys understand what we're playing for, how hard we got to compete on a daily basis in order to be as good as we can be.
Asked you the other day at the press conference, looked like you had a new player at the end of the bench. I know he wasn't dressed out, but do you have an update?
Tiro Dean,
yeah.
He's with us. He, he's coming in his second semester. He's gonna sit out, of course, this semester. He'll be eligible to play in 26, but he can not 26 this spring, but following season. So he won't be back till next year.
So he's going to redshirt or just whatever.
Basically.
So he basically won't be available this season.
No, he will not be available this season, but he can practice with us. He's legally can practice with us now, and so that's what he'll be doing, for the foreseeable future until he's actually able to go when we start up in the summer.
Well, even though he won't be with you now, but what did you like about him to welcome into the program? He had a good career at FIU and then Oklahoma State.
You know what? I think one of the things I really like about him is his competitiveness. I love it. I love how hard he defends. He just really gets after it defensively. He's like a whirlwind out there. And so he had, I guess I played against him enough times that in seeing him, so when he was, available, I'm like, if we can, get this young man, that would be great. I think he fits in how we play, our style of play, I think fits him very well. I think he would be, really good in our system.
Coach, what have you seen from the Milwaukee transfer duel between Themis Folks and Jermichael Stillwell? It seems like every game they keep getting better. Jermichael with another double-double. And Themis, I think, is really starting to hone in on limiting the turnovers and finding his guys in the spots that he expects them to be. What have you seen from their growth?
They're both getting better. They're both getting more comfortable in their roles. They have two unique, positions that they play for us. One's, at the power forward position, some center. The other one is our point guard. They both do a really good job of leading our team. I think as they're getting comfortable with our system, you're seeing them getting better. And I think you're right about that. I think J. Mike tonight was huge. The numbers may not show up, but the double-double and just his presence in the game defensively and rebounding, you feel it out there. And then with Themis, I thought he really did a really good job of running the team, but more importantly, down the stretch, I thought he did a really good job of kind of closing the game for us. The ball was in his hands late. I thought he made a lot of plays that were really good for us down the stretch of the game to kind of, till we could maintain our lead.
Coach Mercer has found success this season with the steal and avoiding turnovers. You managed to force 17 turnovers out of them and then outdo them in steals. Just what you notice from that possession game?
Like I said, they come in, they're a low turnover team. And so, I looked at the stat sheet. I was amazed that we turned them over 17 times. And so I was happy to see how active we were, because you have to be active to do that defensively, especially against a team that doesn't really turn it over a lot. They usually have single-digit turnovers. So that shows our guys were really honed in on the game plan and what we wanted to do, and they were working. And so I wanted to see that from our guys. And then, we kept them off the line. I mean, they ended up shooting, 24 free throws. But they're a team that, they shoot a lot of free throws. The young man was Koji. He averages 9 free throw attempts a game. And so we really wanted to hone in and keep him off the line. I think he took 4 free throws. So he was a main character that we wanted to keep off the line, because he's had games this year where he took 20 free throws in a game. And so someone like that becomes really, really dangerous on the court. And so I thought our guys showed a good discipline by defending him without fouling.
Michael said that he's noticed Themis's basketball IQ has improved. What have you noticed about your team over the course of the season from a basketball IQ standpoint?
Well, I think our guys are getting better as they understand our system. I think they are, they're starting to, play better basketball, or I like to say play UCF basketball, which means we're not, beating ourselves. We're taking care of the ball better. We're making more connecting plays offensively. On defense, we're talking and we're in the right places. And you see guys doing that better. And but these guys, they have a really good commitment. Like a guy like Themis, he loves the game. He studies the game. Like he watched every one of our games last year before the season started. Of our games last season, he went through every single game. That's how committed he is. And we watch his tape. He has an unbelievable appetite even right now to watch tape of our games this year. He wants to be really, really good, and he's willing to pay the price. I mean, most guys that work that hard and study the game and study the how to get better that much, they're going to improve. And I think that's what you see him doing. So Jermichael was right. I think his commitment is why he's getting better in that area.
Did Themis explain why he went back and did that, or what he gained from it?
He's kind of wanted to get a feel for what we do, how we play, what I want out there as a coach, what the guards at that position have done in the past, like DJ, what was he like out there on the floor. Looking at situational basketball, we talked about some of that. He was very good about it. He's very diligent about, hey, I want to get better. I want to see every game I play to kind of study, how am I going to fit into what you guys do. And, and you can see, I think he's a good fit for us.
Couple more.
You mentioned earlier Riley being in attack mode. He's 0 for 11 from 3-point range the last 3 games. What do you attribute that to? Do you think the shot selection's been good? Is it just not falling for him at the moment?
He's taking some good shots. Like all players, take a few that maybe be ill-advised, but for the most part, he's taking some good threes. I mean, he just, he's going to hit those threes like he was earlier. I don't look at that as anything other than just keep throwing yourself into things that we want to do, which means guarding, understanding how important defensively we have to be, being in the right spots, whether running defensive, offensively. You keep doing that, you'll find your rhythm again. In the sport, you're too good a player, he's too good a player, not to find his rhythm in that regard. In some ways, when you're not making shots like this, I learn a lot more about a player when they're not making shots than when they're making shots, to be quite frank. When a guy making shots, he can really shoot. That's what I learned, okay. But when they're not making shots, you can tell, look at guys' body language, look at how guys are defending, are they still engaged offensively when it's not going their way? And so, I look at players for those things, and Riley's been really good. I think the last 3 games especially, I think defensively in this last 3 games have been 3 of his better defensive games for us. So even though he hadn't made the shots that he was making earlier in the season, he's actually picked it up defensively and it's been better for us. And he could easily let, as I mentioned before, like a team that's immature or young, let the offense affect their defense. But he's not let the offense affect his defense. His not making shots as regular as he was before has not affected how he guards for us. And he's actually guarded better, to be quite frank. And so I'm happy to see him do that.
Coach, I kind of wanted to follow up on some of the offensive struggles in this. When you guys had just 5 assists going into the half, was there a message to the team at half to try to get the ball moving more in the second half?
Absolutely. We wanted better ball movement. We didn't think we moved the ball as well as we were capable of. And also, we missed, I think, 8 open shots as well. That would have been assisted baskets where we swung it around the horn and somebody was open and those didn't go. So the combination of missing some open shots as well as you mentioned before, the ball dying in guys' hands, it was a little too stagnant. We pounded it a little too much. We didn't have the flow that I think we had earlier in the season, and we have to get back to that. And that's why I think, like I said, when you get out of rhythm some and not playing games in that long, I think 2 games in, like I said, maybe 17 or 18 days, that's tough, and everybody else is going 2 times a week right now. And so I'm glad we're going to get back into hopefully a rhythm before the Christmas break.
I know you mentioned that rhythm. I kind of wanted to follow up and say, given just 2 more games after this one, how close do you think this team is to be ready for conference play?
Hard to say. I think we're working in the right direction by working on some of the things that we have to improve on, starting with our defense. I think if you look at our last 3 games, I think you've seen improvement defensively, and we have to still build on that, because that's going to have to be our calling card in this league. It's going to have to be how hard we can guard, and can we string together stops is what we're going to have to be able to do to have any success. I've been in this league now, this is our 3rd year, and that's what I've seen, and then the rest of it takes care of itself. But we have got to continue to get better in that area prior to starting league play, and our guys are working towards that.
Last one.
Coach, you outdid the Bears on offensive rebounds right there. Jermichael Stillwell making a big part of that difference there. Just what was it like watching him there on the offensive glass, especially?
Well, he's just relentless. I mean, he just goes. He's one of those players. He plays to exhaustion. I mean, a lot of guys pace themselves when they play. he doesn't. He just plays to exhaustion, and that's what I love about him. He just doesn't hold anything back when he's on the floor. He's giving you everything he has on every possession.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Coach.
Coach.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.